Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be redesigning the Fanta logo. So before we get started, please remember to hit like and subscribe, and also click the bell for notifications. Now let's get started. All right, so this is one of the logos that I've always liked. And let's see, Fanta logo history, and just kind of bring it up real quick. And now this is interesting, actually. Let me see. So this one right here I'm unfamiliar with. I don't really know about the 2016 version of the logo, and nor do I like it. But let's see. And let's see if I can get a little bit more. Okay, so this one is a little bit more detailed in terms of the timeline. So as far as all of these go, I would say that probably my favorite one, because it's the most similar to like Orange Crush, and I really like that logo, would be the 2008 to 2010 logo. And they only had that for, 2008, 2009, 2010. Of course, that's about 2 years or so, depending on when they actually rebranded. But I actually do like, so like for sodas and everything like that, you don't need, like a strictly minimalist type. You want something with a little bit more personality and, dare I say, flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to Adobe Fonts and see what we can find. All right, so I'm here on Adobe Fonts, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on the word funky over here on the style, and we're just going to kind of see what we can do. So as far as the actual typography design goes, I want to see what we can do in terms of nailing that down before we do any kind of any type of emblem or symbol or something like that. I definitely want to include some kind of a leaf. So let's just see what we can find in terms of the typography, and then we can just go from there. So I do like this one right here, although that F is not, it's not too obvious that it is an F. But Fanta Soda has always had a little bit of like a playful attitude to it, so I kind of want something like that. That's going to be, that's really going to be, it's going to have some kind of movement to it. So this Womp is pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Although it still has kind of that same issue going on with the letter F. This is interesting right here. It's a very 60s groovy type of vibe. That's pretty cool. But none of these are really jumping out at me and saying, I'm the one. So look at that, hobo. It's like, a fake version of hobo. All right, so let's go over to fun and see if we can find anything in there. See if we can find Fanta having fun. All right, this is interesting. This Postino one looks very similar to the old Yahoo logo, like the one back from the 90s. So let's see. Fanta. I want something that is, still somewhat playful, but it also is, kind of a little bit on the trendy side. There's really nothing wrong with doing that. But none of these are really jumping out at me. So let's see. We've already looked at funky and we've looked at fun. And let's check out friendly and see if we can do anything in there. This ice cream one is cool. I like that. And we could probably do some cool text effects with that. And they've also got one that's like a slant version. So I'm going to let this activate, and then we'll go over to Adobe Illustrator and see what we can do. All right, so here it is activated, and I do like the slanted version. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of get a little bit of some of our kerning done. So let's go ahead and do this and just kind of get this a little bit closer to this. And remember, one of our rules for designing a new logo is to make sure that you design it in all black first, because whatever you do needs to be able to work as one solid color without elements interfering with each other. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do that before we do any kind of coloring. So I'm going to create this, outlines here. And I'd like to go in here to our warp effects and just kind of see what we can do in terms of making it a little bit more visually interesting. The shell upper is kind of cool. I actually do kind of like that, and see what happens when we just kind of fan it out a little bit here. I just realized that Fanta, Sorry, I'm a dad. Okay, and then I definitely don't want to distort it too much horizontally. Or, I'm sorry, vertically. But the horizontal is pretty cool. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, and then let's expand the appearance and then go back and then go into warp, and let's do some more warping here, and maybe do like a rise and just kind of see what that looks like. That's a little bit too much. Let's see. I do like maybe a 20% and kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so this right here, you know, like it's definitely in keeping with, you know, having a little bit more fun and having some playfulness when it comes to like a soda logo. You can totally do that. Let's see what it looks like. Just kind of like a classic, you know, putting the design inside of a circle. You know, that's very classic when it comes to soda logos. So we'll just kind of see what that looks like. And before we color anything, because right now it's very tempting to color, let me do something in terms of like a leaf or something like that. And what we'll do here is we'll grab the ellipse tool and then grab the direct selection tool and grab the top and the bottom anchor points, and we're going to make those into we're going to make those pointed instead of curved. And then anchor point again. I'm just going to bring this up and then bring this one down. And kind of like that, actually, just kind of sitting on top right there. It is filling up that negative space very nicely. And let's just kind of bring it down just a little bit more. I kind of like it just kind of being right here, but I definitely want it slanted a little bit so that it can kind of just sit right there in that space. So that's pretty cool. The only thing that I feel like might be missing is some kind of a swoosh or something, which I normally am very against, but I think that for a soda logo, it's probably not a big deal. So let's do something like this. We could probably even go like 50 point right there, and we may do a little bit of a rotation and just kind of see what that looks like. Okay, looking at that, it looks a little bit too thick. Let's bring it down about half. Okay, that's pretty cool. And that really is just to kind of help bring a little bit more balance there to the bottom. So I do like that. Let's go ahead and expand that appearance so we can get a solid color on it. And at this point, let me use the Pathfinder to reset that bounding box. We'll do the same thing here. And let's go ahead and color. I'm going to grab the actual colors from the logo history. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, I do like this one right here. So I think we could easily do, you know, it's pretty typical you see with orange sodas is to do like a blue and a green type of thing. But before we do that, we need to do a compound path. There we go. Wait, where am I going? Oh, there we go, compound path. I don't know why I was looking for it in the path area, but I guess that does kind of make sense. So now we can drop this outer stroke right here, make it to the outside, and then once we do the entire thing, as you can see, it'll fill it up as one shape individually instead as one shape overall instead of each letter individually. That's what I was trying to say, and was completely unable to say it. All right, so I like that border around it. That's really nice. And let's go ahead and color this. We'll just kind of color sample this green right here. And just, you know what? Let me color match the orange really quick. Get it a little bit brighter because I want some good contrast between that orange and the green. This is looking a little bit iridescent, so let's kind of back off the saturation a little bit and go for maybe something like that. I think that I might actually pick up on the same stroke color right there, and then we'll just go back and color match this green. There we go. So that way, this kind of all makes it look like it's the same unit. And I wonder, just kind of out of curiosity, what would happen if we do that. So like we put our little swoosh at the bottom there. Just kind of bring this down. Or what would it look like if it were all green? That's interesting. Although we are moving away from the classic, you know, blue type with the orange background. But I'd like to consider it as a logo variation. So let's do, first off, let's go to transform and scale strokes and effects. So when we bring this down, and it will scale those strokes for us. And then I'd like to try picking up that same green color, and then maybe decreasing this a little bit. I still want to keep it to like a nice saturated orange, but we are certainly getting away from, you know, overall brand recognition, because if I saw this, the first thing that I think of is Orange Crush, because because the typography is all green. But I do want to see what this looks like maybe if we reverse the colors. So that's pretty cool right there. Although I have to say I'm definitely a bigger fan of the blue type with the white stroke. So it just helps it to be a little bit more recognizable. So for something like this, I like to go in, you know, like when we're so close to closing up those counters inside there, I prefer to just go ahead and make it solid on the inside. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is what I'm talking about right here. We just go in and just fill up those counters. Okay, and let's just kind of see what it looks like. You know, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary at all. Let's go ahead and undo. We'll just, oh, wrong. There we go. And we'll just delete that. Okay, I actually think that's okay. Let's take this down to maybe, well, let's see. Okay, here we go. That's pretty cool. I like that. And let's go back to our stroke, and we'll round off everything. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So now everything is nice and filled in. And I will probably see about matching the stroke on here, 10 point, and then do the same thing here. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I think actually we can probably just take this down to like a 5 and bring this down, because I think that a heavy stroke on the Fanta and then also on this little swoop right here, I think that works really well. So let's go through here and let's select both of these shapes, and we'll go in and use our Pathfinder and our divide tool, and we'll just cut out all of these little shapes right here that we're trying to isolate, so that we can get those exactly how we need them. This is not working for me for some reason. Okay, first off, what we need to do is probably expand this. And then we go in here and do this. There we go. That's what I needed to do. All right, let's go into our outline mode, and then we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. So that way, yeah, here you can see these are our leftover shapes, and that's what's actually there. Okay, perfect. And I still wonder if a 10 point would be better, just to match everything. I think it would actually be better. Okay, and let's go through, let's ungroup everything, just so we can isolate that top part of that orange, and the bottom part too. There's something that I do want to try. Just copy it and paste it, and then we'll just kind of maybe lighten it just a little bit. I wanted to see if maybe a drop shadow could work, but I don't think it's going to. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is what I would propose for the new Fanta logo. Very nice and very simple. You know, definitely in keeping with, like with the brand guidelines, and nice. And oh wait, what's going on here? Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so very nice in keeping with, you know, the brand's identity. I really do like that typography, and it's a nice, fun little warp that we put in using the warp tool in Illustrator. So, so let me know what you think about this. That was fun. You know, like the purpose of these videos is for me to just kind of come up with a logo design as quickly as possible without doing any kind of planning at all. So, not too shabby for something that that had absolutely no planning whatsoever. So I actually do like it, and I feel like it would fall in line with the rest of them very easily, actually. And it's a callback, you know, to some of the older designs while also utilizing some of the new designs as well. So let me know what you think about this video down in the comments, and also please remember to hit like and subscribe, and also click the bell for notifications. You'll be notified of all new content whenever you do that. And also thank you so much for all of these subscribers out there. It really helps out when you subscribe to the channel. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.